Whatever the belief system, whatever the school of magical or supernatural thought, one truth stands above all others. Sacrifice is required for power. Some creeds require self-sacrifice, the denial of flesh or various forms of self-mutilation. Others require sacrifice of designated others. These others might be the undesirable and powerless in a society, or elevated through competition and ritual into a role given great status for a brief time before the sacrifice is made. Consider the tale of Edgar Wharton, the architect of the Granite Falls Lodge. He was regarded as a minor talent at best for the early years of his career and only received the lodge commission due to family connections. His father-in-law was the superintendent of the park at the time. By the time he'd completed the lodge, Wharton was considered one of the brightest and most talented architects of the day. Despite only having created one building of note, he was sought after and celebrated for the rest of his relatively short life. Why do I bring this up? Because among the crews who cleared the land and built the lodge, Wharton was known to be a casually cruel man, one who cared not at all for safety and who seemed to relish when his men were injured. This is hearsay, of course, the words of a beleaguered and unappreciated workforce. But 18 men died while building the lodge, and in the nearby graveyard, only 14 bodies are buried. Did the architect Edgar Wharton sacrifice his laborers to further his own career through supernatural means? It's impossible to say. And Wharton only enjoyed the fruits of his malfeasance for a mere 10 years before dying in a grisly accident himself, also at the lodge. I consider it especially noteworthy that the lodge, sparsely visited in its first decade, became a popular and profitable enterprise after Wharton's death. Power requires sacrifice, my learned colleagues. The question is always, who sacrifices and who gains?